Friends, this Saturday in part 7 of the series on Dharma, I will take you through the principles and practice of Dharma. As usual, this is in continuation to the earlier episodes that we have had on Dharma. Mahabharata, the great epic that the Hindus revere as the Manava Kartavya Sastra, or the code of duties of human beings. This speaks about Manava Dharma, or the people's Dharma. On being asked by Yudhishthira to explain the meaning and scope of Dharma, Bhishmacharya replied thus in Shanti Parva. We observe this in Vishnu Sahasranamam as well. Tadrisho ayan anuprashno yatra dharma sudurlabha dushkama prali sankhyatum tatkenatra yas pasyati prabhavartaya bhutanam dharma pravachanam kiritam yasyat prabhava samyukta sadharma iti nischaya tadrisho ayam anuprashno yatra dharma sudurlabha. It's most difficult to define dharma. That is what Bhishmacharya says. Dushkama, hard to be done or born, hard to practice. Prali, difficult. Sankhyatum, calculate. It is difficult to calculate, to estimate. Tat means that. Kenatra, why? Visvasyati, be or make firm. Or why is it that dharma is hard to practice, difficult to estimate, define or change it? Prabhavartaya bhutanam dharma pravachanam krutam. Dharma has been explained to be that which helps the upliftment of human beings. Prabhavartaya bhutanam. Yasya prabhava samyukta sadharma iti nischaya. Therefore, that which ensures the welfare of living beings is called dharma, is surely dharma. The learned rishis have declared that which sustains any and everything is dharma. Dharayati iti dharma. In Karna Parva, dharma is described thus. You may remember I quoted this in part 2 of my series on dharma while explaining what dharma is. Dharanat dharma mityahu dharma dharmo dharayate prajaha yat syad dharana samyuktam sadharma iti nischaya. Dharanat dharma mityahu, dharma sustains the society. Yat syad dharana samyuktam, dharma maintains the social order. Dharmo dharayate praja, dharma ensures well-being and progress of humanity. Dharayate praja. Sadharma iti nischaya. Dharma is surely that which fulfills these objectives. The sage Jaimini, disciple of sage Vedavyasa, also the author of celebrated Purva Mimamsa, and sage Badarayana of Uttara Mimamsa, explains dharma thus. Mimamsa means reflection or critical investigation, and thus refers to a tradition of contemplation which is a part of the ancient Vedic texts. In Purva Mimamsa, dharma is a virtue, morality or duty. The main emphasis of Purva Mimamsa is that work produces result. You reap what you sow. There is no external agency like God to confer the results for our work. Whereas Uttara Mimamsa, though accepts that work does produce results, it contends that there is a karma phaladata. It questions, Uttara Mimamsa questions, why is it that when all infrastructure and effort is identical, when all known and measurable factors are identical, The harvest or yield in two adjacent lands is different. The farmers put the same amount of effort, but the yield is different. That is an unknown factor. So Uttara Mimamsa rationalizes the unknown factor as God or karma. So sage Jaimini in Purva Mimamsa says, Sahi Nisrayasana Pumsham Samyuna Kutiti Prati Jani Mahe Tad Abhidhiyate Chodana Lakshano Ariho Dharmaha. Sahi Nisrayasana Pumsham. Dharma is that which is referred or indicated by the Vedas as useful. Sahi Nisrayasana Pumsham, and similar to the highest God. Samyunaktiti Pratijani Mahe. Friends, and Tad Abhidhiyate Chodana Lakshano Ariho Dharmaha. With those kind of qualities, what exists is Dharma. Friends, all that I have spoken is Dharma and its dimensions and how it is practiced or should be practiced. However, there is a difference in precept and practice. So let's see how we follow Dharma. In our lives, in the pursuit of virtues, and we actually sin. We want to create virtues, but in creating those virtues, we sin. Dharmasya phalam icchanti, dharmam no icchanti manavaha, phalam papasya no icchanti papam kuruvanti sadaraha. Dharmasya phalam icchanti means want the fruits of following Dharma. We all want the fruits of following Dharma. Dharmasya phalam icchanti. Dharmam no icchanti. But we do not like to observe Dharma. Manava, that is by people. Phalam papasya no icchanti papam. People do not want the fruits of being sinful. Kurvanti sadara. But they keep sinning attentively and regularly. People want the fruits of Dharma, but do not like to observe Dharma. They do not want the fruits of being sinful, but they keep sinning attentively. Dharma also teaches us restraint. Na tatparasya sandadhyat pratikulam yadatmanaha. Yesham sankshepato dharma kamalanya pravartate. Na means do not. Tatparasya, act in others. Sandhadyat, matters. Pratikulam, in a way. Yadatmana, abhorrent to yourself. What is abhorrent to yourself? You don't practice on others. So, na tatparasya sandhadyat pratikulam yadatmanaha. Yesha, this is Yesham, Yesha sankshepato dharmaha. Kamalanya pravartate. Yesha means this is sankshepato, restraint, dharma, of dharma, kamalanya, lecherous, pravartate, behavior. Do not act in others' matters in a way that is abhorrent to yourself. And this is the dharma of restraint. Practice restraint. Otherwise, it will be called lecherous behavior. Dharma also extols us to be brave, be confident. Then Dharma will protect you. Viklavo viryahino yassa daivam anuvartate. Viraha sambhavitatmano na daivam paryupasate. Viklavo, one who depends on destiny. Viklavo viryahino ya. Viryahino is weak. Yes, sadaivam anuvartate, one who follows the dharma or truth of God. Viklavo viryahino yes sadaivam anuvartate, vira sambhavitatmano na daivam paryupasate. Vira, a brave and self-confident person, sambhavitatmano na daivam, will not believe in fate. Paryupasate, he will believe in dharma and will practice dharma. Paryupasate, one who depends on destiny is a timid and weak person, and a brave and self-confident person will not believe in fate. He will believe in dharma and will practice dharma and will practice truthfulness and honesty. Viklavo viryahyuno yassa daivam anuvartate veera sambhavita atmano na daivam paryupasate. Yatha dosho vibhatyasya janasya na tatha gunaha prayah kalanka evendo prasfuto na prasannata. Yatha dosho vibhatasya janasya na tatha gunaha. Yatha dosho, faults. Vibhatyasya, easily noticeable faults. Janasya, in people. Na tatha gunam, or guna, na tatha guna, not their good qualities. We don't easily see the good qualities, but we see the faults, easily noticeable faults in people. Prayah kalanka, dark spot, even though in the moon, prasfuto, visible, na prasannata, not his brightness. Even in the moon, we see the visible dark spots, but we don't see his brightness. A fault or serious blemish in a person is easily noticeable rather than the good qualities. Similar to the moon, where people see the dark spots rather than the brightness. Yatha dosho vibhatyasya janasya na tatha gunaha prayah kalanka evendo prasfuto na prasannata. So friends, if we practice the right dharma in the right way, it will show us a path to bring peace to the world and the entire world. It will transform the hearts of those who want to harm and compels them to promote peace. It will teach us to pray for world peace and for physical, psychological and spiritual well-being of all the beings on this earth. It will give us a method to reach a state of consciousness where our mind only follows that which is auspicious and good for all of us and avoids that which is harmful to others and ourselves. It teaches us devotion to the Supreme Lord, while at the same time letting go of our selfish desires. Hence, every one of us must follow our dharma. Friends, that's all for this Saturday. Let's meet the next Saturday when I'll come back with part 7 of my presentations on Dharma and Dharmacharana as enshrined in Hinduism and its holy texts. Until then, thank you, namaskar and dhanyavad.